Hi, everyone. Chief Rankings Officer Payton Soicher here on the Triple Option with Paul Catalina. We had a crazy week 12 of college football that the playoff committee is going to have to try and ingest everything and understand what in the world are we going to start ranking all these different types of teams. So let's take a dive on into rankingsrightnow.com, where we have a machine learning algorithm to help us guide where the selection committee is going to be ranking these teams. Sign up for our newsletter, create your free login. But here we are on the top 25. Let's start with who are the teams that are projected to fall out of the top 25. We had Mizzou lose to South Carolina. We had Louisville losing to Stanford of all teams. We had Washington State losing to New Mexico of all teams. And we had LSU falling hard at the very end of their game. So where does this start to bring in everything for how the rankings are going to shape up? Let's really dive in and focus in on this 16 through 25 section right here. If we actually start at 17, we are going to have a bunch of people that say, well, why didn't CU move up in the rankings? They destroyed Utah. Travis Hunter looked amazing. Yes, but Utah is not the same juggernaut that we thought they were at the beginning of the year. Clemson just beat Pitt on the road with a great 50-yard touchdown to win the game. That road win against Pitt that started the year off 7-0 was recently ranked is probably a better win on paper than Colorado's win against Utah. So according to the algorithm, Clemson is going to be ahead of Colorado. Do we think that's actually going to be the case? I don't know. I could see both those teams flip-flopping, right? But according to how they voted in the past, this is where the algorithm believes Clemson will be just ahead of Colorado. And maybe they let the selection committee think, well, we're just going to let the Colorado, BYU, Arizona State, we're going to let them all just settle it out. And it really doesn't matter where we rank them right now. So maybe moving Clemson a little bit higher is the main priority there. Then we have South Carolina moving up 3 spots after beating Mizzou. You have Tulane, who absolutely waxed Navy 35-0 on their home turf. So that's a big jump for Tulane. I think a lot of people are really starting to take them much more seriously here in the last 2 weeks. Arizona State beats Kansas State. They're now into what the projection is as number 20. That's a big jump from someone who was not ranked last weekend. So they've had an up and down last few weeks, but as of right now, the selection committee is going to have to take them very seriously now with a legitimate ranked win under their belt. Army had the weekend off. Kansas State, as we just mentioned, lost to Arizona State. And now you have James Madison and Iowa State that were floating around in that 25 to 32 area. They haven't been ranked. Iowa State was ranked a few weeks ago, but now Iowa State had a big win against Cincinnati. So now here's what we're thinking. We think James Madison and Iowa State, UNLV are the last teams that are going to be coming in. The AP poll yesterday had Iowa State and UNLV both in the top 25. So I wouldn't be surprised if the playoff committee is also leaning that way. But you also still have these teams like Missouri, Louisville, Washington State, LSU that could all creep back in to those bottom tier 23, 24, 25 rankings. So a ton of information that we should all be paying attention to. Go to rankings right now. Play with the what if simulation tool. You can see what would have happened if Louisville doesn't blow it at the very end with bad penalties to lead to a field goal with Stanford. Where would they be ranked, right? Play around, have some fun. We're going to be here all week talking about all of the projected rankings, and once they release their rankings on Tuesday night, where we go from there. I am Chief Rankings Officer Payton Soicher here on the Triple Option with Paul Catalina.